Welcome to Shoes Off Talk. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Man, it's just a special day today. I've had the pleasure of attending, I guess I could say working, one of this young lady's events, and it was an honor. I got so much out of it. The next one I will be participating, but I was the one behind the camera. And without further ado, first of all, I got to give my co-host give him a hard time. For him on blast, Larvell, where you at? Larvell Witt. We gonna say his whole government name.
Larvell S. Witt.
Of course, we're in studio with my guy on the ones and two.
What's up? This is your boy Floyd.
Yes. So we're honored to bring you another show today on Shoes Off Talk. We have a special guest in studio. Without further ado, we're gonna let her introduce herself, and she is Kristy Austin.
Yes, Kristy, happy to be here on Shoes Off Talk.
There we go.
Why are your shoes not off is what I want to say, Tim.
Look, my feet ain't done right, and so because they ain't done right, I gotta get them done. They gonna stay where they at for now.
We'll let you slide this one time.
Appreciate you.
At my class, there's no shoes though.
Oh yeah,
take those off.
Don't have to, but I can put on socks.
Yeah, take those off. No socks. You want to feel the ground beneath your feet.
Okay.
It grounds you. You get that frequency.
Yeah, make sure you get the toes done, get the little polish on the edges and everything.
First of all, let's get something straight. Now that you said that, what's up, Addie? Addie's on here. How are you doing, Addie? Yvonne, what up, silent partner? But I do get my feet done on a regular, and I do put on black matte toe polish. And the reason why I did that is from back in the day when I was wearing military boots, it had turned my one of my toes black. I just, from all the constant pounding and then playing ball and playing sports and being active. So I didn't like the way that looked. So I would have them painted matte black. And then like my little bro, Ray Allen, when he was in the NBA, he got his painted the color of his team. So I saw him one time, he had red, he had black when he was with Miami Heat. Then when he was with the Celtics, he had green. So that let me know that I was on the right track. If Ray Allen can do it, hell, I can do it. So I do not have a problem with my feet looking right.
There you
go.
go.
Take care of your feet. They looking.
I can dig the black. But I also have to say, do you soak your feet with vinegar? Apple cider vinegar.
Healing stuff.
You can put some
Kristy,
essential oils.
First of all, let's get something straight. You can't. Your expectations and what you do is not the everyday person. They need to do it, but understand this: it's not normal.
It's completely normal. So what's your perception of normal?
Well,
do you want to keep your feet healthy?
I guess normal was the wrong word. It wasn't. It isn't something we do, on a daily basis. Something that's in our routine is to soak our feet in apple cider vinegar. I drink it.
Okay, that's good.
I drink it.
That's good. That's something you need to make a part of your team.
Latte.
You take baths.
No, I ain't took a bath since high school. Kristy, you take baths?
I do. Oh, are you
What?
kidding me? I make a ritual out of it.
You know what?
I put either flowers or I put teas in there or baking soda, apple cider vinegar. Think about it. Our skin is our largest organ. You're marinating. You're absorbing all that goodness through your skin. Feel my skin. Just feel my skin.
Oh,
I don't use lotions ever.
What?
Never.
Okay.
Would you say it's soft, right?
Yeah.
So that's why.
We'll keep this show PG. We're gonna keep this show PG. Rub it all on our skin and stuff. Made me feel some kind of way. You know what? We really dove into this without announcing what Kristy does, who she is. And that would actually enlighten our viewing audience so they know that we just don't have somebody we just found walking down the hallways that thinks this that's super earthy, and she's super earthy. So tell us about who Kristy is.
Kristy has layers, so many layers. I'm like a mountain that has a bunch of dirt and shit, just layers of stuff, but then crystals and gold and even diamonds. That's me. Just layers on top of layers on top of layers. So would I say who I am now? I'm a healer. I'm a yoga instructor. I'm a Reiki practitioner. I'm a numerologist. I have many titles.
So what is a Reiki?
Energy exchange. It's frequency. So if you're in tune with yourself, you ever meet someone and you're like, oh, they're closed off. Like no matter what I say to them, it's not going to get through because there's a wall here. They're not open at all. And then you meet someone and you can feel like their pain. So what I can do is I can go in there and move energy around and it will heal. And the thing is, I don't like people to tell me what problem they're having or what pain they're having or what their issue is. I just go in there, don't tell me. I do my thing because I use myself as a vessel for healing energy and do different symbols and different things, colors and stuff. The energy flows through me into you. It moves things around, the toxins. Whatever is broken up, whatever's stuck within your body, whatever toxins that you have, whatever pain that you have, it moves it around. So everyone that I do this on, they either get really hot or really cold. So I usually have them wear a blanket. They can feel the energy moving in their body. And usually, like I can tell, because I've been doing this for a while, my finger twitches where there's issues. Usually I don't say anything, but when I'm going over their body, I'm like, oh, they've got an issue right here. So
don't go over my body. Your finger going. What is going on with her hand when she's going all over to? Yeah, it's gonna be nonstop with me. I got all kind of problems.
Sounds like you need a session.
You know what? I could use a session. There's nothing wrong. But I can understand what you're saying, like when you say you don't want people to tell you because you don't want to have to focus on one thing. I mean, you're not going to do it anyway, but you just want them to know that, yeah, you might be feeling pain here, but maybe because you're feeling pain here, it's not sensory to other things that's going on. Like that may be your focus.
Exactly. So usually
we don't want to miss nothing.
Right, exactly. Usually when people have pain in a certain area of their body, it's generating somewhere completely opposite. Mm-hmm. So if you're saying I have a pain right here, it could be your foot that's in pain or your ankle that has the trauma. So I don't like to hear, don't tell me where your pain is. The energy is going to flow where it's meant to flow.
Oh, okay. That's good. That's good. How did you get into this?
Oh, shit. I don't even know where to start with that. I'd say anybody who's in the healing industry started to heal themselves. The people that have the most trauma in their lives are the ones that get into this because we need to find out what we can do to help ourselves. And then in turn, when we help ourselves, we can't help but want to help others. So I have a lot of trauma in my life. You know, usually trauma starts from childhood, but we won't go that far or that deep. But, you know, let's say I've been not able to walk for 3 to 6 months. After I had my first son, I broke my tailbone. There's that trauma. After I had my twins, I had separation of my abdomen, recti, something it's called. I could literally fit my whole hand like in my stomach. There was that separation. I've had physically, I've had a lot of trauma that I've had to overcome, and yoga has really helped me. Yoga meditation has really helped me with that. And then there's the emotional trauma. You know, I was married, have 4 children, have a granddaughter. who I absolutely adore. And I said I was married. Now that was like my goal in life, right? When you're a kid, you just want to get married, have kids. And there was like no higher honor in my mind than being a wife and mother. And when I'd say I lived blissfully in the hologram of my illusion for a long time. And when the veil was lifted, I crumbled. I crumbled. I went through a really tough time and didn't know how to pick up the pieces. And it was yoga that helped put me back together. So through yoga, I've learned all different kinds of healing modalities. Now my practices include, different detoxes and foods and waters, even in the water that I drink. It's contrast therapy, cold plunge, saunas, infrared lights. I mean, I've gone so deep. Frequencies. I've gone so deep in my different healing modalities that I'm consumed with this healthy living now lifestyle.
So you said something like before we actually went on air. I noticed the water that you were drinking, and we understand that. For the life of me, I can't understand how do you ruin water? Like and I know it could be done, but it's just like how
Okay.
can we mess water up so bad?
Do you want me to tell you?
And the water that you're drinking, tell us what we should be drinking as far as water is concerned.
First of all, I want to answer your first question, how we can mess up water so bad.
That was rhetorical.
That, the toilet water, your shit and all that stuff goes down the drain. They put a bunch of, I'm sorry.
No, I'm just kidding. We're not regulated. You can say shit as many times as you like.
Yes,
shit,
you're
shit.
basically drinking shit is what I'm saying. They take that, put a bunch of chlorine and other toxins to clean it. It's crap. And then you're going to drink it? And they say they put it through filter? No, thank you. I want my water coming fresh from the mountains. So that's what I drink water. And I only drink out of glass water.
Let us see
bottles.
what you're drinking out of.
Today, I have my Mountain Spring. It's a glass.
The same
Bottle.
glass that the 40 ounce used to come in.
I probably look like I'm drinking in my car.
That's what I thought it was at first. I'm like, is she nervous coming here with a 40?
A bag though.
Yes.
Yes.
So it says spring water.
Make sure it's spring water.
Yes, and do your best to drink out of glass, because the plastics, especially in this heat, this Arizona heat, Tim, the plastics leach into our water. I can't drink out of plastic anymore. I can literally taste the chemicals in it. Ugh. So yes.
She makes me not want to drink out of plastic, but I at least got to drink what I just put in our refrigerator since I paid $18.50 for it.
Yeah, go ahead and drink.
Once I finish
water.
drinking that plastic water, I'm done. I'm drinking out of glass from here. Like, is there any particular brands that you recommend for us?
Yes.
And this could be a promo video for Kristy to get a water sponsor
is it Panama?
too.
Panama. It's the glass with the white and orange label. It's pretty much, there's only in the grocery stores, you can only get two waters out of the glass, and that's Mountain Valley, and the other, it's Panama, I think, or
it's
white and orange, and I like that
have
one.
it here at the forum. I think
I
we have it.
I like that one.
Okay. It's got to be Mountain Spring, and it's got to be glass. Now, when I look at the ingredients on this, your water should just say water. Like, it shouldn't say sodium chloride or all these other things. If there's ingredients in water, that's like saying
there's no ingredients in here,
I want some air, but it's like, well, our air is bad too. That's a horrible example, so we're just gonna keep it moving.
Zero.
My next question: do you think yoga and meditation could positively affect our youth in a way to where it enhances coping skills, especially when it comes to like our ethnic communities that struggle more with life and dealing with adversity? And I just really and I used to do Bikram yoga, and honestly, I had never felt so good when I was doing Bikram yoga. And I know there's, other forms of yoga out there, but that was the one that I was exposed to. But I really see this being a benefit in our school systems for our kids, especially, with them having to deal with life, because we look at them and be like, oh, what do you have? The kids have it tough. We didn't have it as tough as they have it now with the advent of social media. They've got to deal with social media and everything being put on a platform and all of it, having to fit in. So they do. So do you see this being an outlet for our kids? And is it something that we could possibly get in schools as curriculum?
Absolutely. I think yoga and meditation should be in every school. As a matter of fact, I'm in the process of writing a book about that because I want children to utilize yoga and meditation in the school system. I'll tell you a little funny story. My children, I started this journey after my divorce, so I had an infant and 2 toddlers. And going through this process myself of learning, I'm doing Kundalini yoga, and I'm telling my daughter had my 5-year-old daughter, one of the twins, had some trauma. So she was having to go to therapy, and she would get really upset. She'd put her hands in fists, and she'd shake, and she didn't know how to deal with her trauma. So I started teaching her yoga and meditation. Not worried about my son. My son's just a baby at this time, right? I'm teaching my 5-year-old daughter. And I'm telling her, okay, we need to calm down, teaching her different breathing techniques. I'm saying, Satanama, Satanama. Yes. Now, Satanama, infinity. This is when you're saying that, this is infinity, life, death, rebirth. Bring that all in. You do that for a few minutes, it rewires the brain, it calms you down. I'm teaching her that. You good?
Yeah, that's kind of catchy.
So I'm teaching her. Fast forward to a couple years later. Now my son is going into preschool. He's not even 4 years old yet. And he comes home and he's like, Mom, there's this bully in class. He's really mean. She's telling me all the stuff he's saying. And I said, okay, I'm sorry to hear that, sweetheart. What did you do? And he goes, I asked the teacher if I could go to the bathroom. And I said, oh, okay, well, that's good. Remove yourself from the situation. Then what did you do? Because I went to the hall and I went, Satanama, Satanama. And he goes, I looked at him. I didn't teach him that. I taught his older sister, not him. It's like, what? Mm-hmm. Wow. And how did it make you feel? And he goes, I felt really good. I went back inside. And I went back inside and I decided to sit somewhere else. But then on the playground, I played with him because I realized that he just needed a friend. Oh, and wow. I was like, wow.
Yeah, we definitely need that, especially in the Black community, man. We need that. And I always say healing starts from the inside out. And also, that's a form of education. And the more you can learn about yourself. And I also talk about education in the form of understanding other people's heritage, other people's ethnicities, and why they do the things that they do. And if you can get a better understanding of that helps us that educates us on the why, when, and where of other cultures. And that way, it brings that understanding to where now, because we know that a lot of stuff that's going on in the world is just pure ignorance, is lack of knowledge.
100%.
And so I really feel like something like this, would definitely be able to help center. I wouldn't have a problem if I had a kid in school if they took a break, 30 minutes in a day, and every class just did yoga meditation.
It should be mandatory.
Because it doesn't cross any boundaries of religion or any of that, because you're not praying to anyone. It's just really getting in touch with your inner self and connecting with the earth and am I describing it right? Yeah. And so I really feel like that's something that I would love to push for because I think it would definitely help.
Yeah, or even going outside and just having the kids take off their shoes and touch the earth with their feet. That grounds you. we wearing shoes and concrete, as much concrete that we have, we're not getting the energy, the frequency of the earth that we need. And that helps with a lot of mental issues that we have, depression, anxiety. So if we just put our feet on the earth, it would help a lot. Like make that a daily practice. Just go outside, put your feet on the earth. If you do nothing else, you can walk around in the grass, do a little walking meditation, let your mind wander wherever it needs to go. That alone with our youth, go on the playground, everybody take off their shoes, even play a game, get the frequency of the earth.
And it's funny because we talked last week about mental health and implementing this, especially black men and men in general, we deal with so much, and this will be excellent for that as it pertains to mental health, is being able to get rooted and grounded again. So what's next for Kristy? You got a laundry list of titles and you made mention about the book. What is the ultimate goal? What could you do that would be like, okay, I made it?
My goal is to heal the world.
I guess, yeah. Yeah, that's that's the ultimate
So
goal.
it's to facilitate in raising the elective consciousness or the collective consciousness with all of us. We can all be better, do better. So when we open up our hearts and we can see, like, don't feed into the fear, the bullshit, the drama, always have an open heart, always have an attitude of gratitude. That is my goal. Whatever books I want to write, I want to do lectures. I want to bring awareness to teach people how to heal themselves, because we all have it within us. So what is going to work for you? What therapy? Because there's so many different therapies out there. The more I get into it, the more I think I know, I realize I don't know shit. There's so much.
If she don't know nothing, be super ignorant over here. Like, golly. Like, I would be coming to you for therapy, and if you telling me you don't know much, we both need to lie down on the couch. But yeah, that should be. I really feel like that should be a goal of everyone's, is to play your part in healing the world.
Yeah.
Because there's so many different avenues and ways that we can go about doing that, and everybody can play a part in doing that. And so, I'm wholeheartedly 100% feel the same way. So you made mention your kids do yoga as well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I saw them when we were setting up, because we did a yoga event at the W about a week ago, and some people were asking for mats, and she was like, "No, those are for my kids." So she had 4 mats out there, and then I think your daughter was passing around the ointments and oils and all of this stuff. So it's great to see you guys doing that as a family, because instilling that stuff in kind of stuff in your kids at a young age, helps to carry on that and pass it on, to their friends, and then when they get older, to their kids, and that's what it needs to happen. It needs to be generational,
For sure.
Somebody has to start it, but we have to have people that keep it going.
It's funny because they live in this polarity, right, of worlds where they have me at home saying take off your shoes and energy and feelings, and then they go to their dad's house and doesn't believe in any of this stuff at all. Then they go to the school, they don't really know what to think, right? So they've got this different dynamics they're trying to work through, and they like to make fun of me. Don't get me wrong. They always go, okay, I'm going to imitate mom. Okay. I just felt the energy in the room, so I had to take off my shoes. they make fun of me. It's
look,
great.
If they're going to imitate you, at least give them something positive to imitate.
Right. But what's funny is that I see them doing it all the time. the things that I'm teaching, I see them doing it.
Yeah.
So I'm
Okay. And that just lets you know it's working. You can laugh about it as much as you want, but if you're getting something out of it, you're going to do it. You're going to do it. And the one thing that we did not mention is if Kristy Austin sounds familiar, who are you? Who are your family? Who is your family
man, we
member?
didn't even go there, huh?
Yeah,
Yes.
you know what? I don't like to do that because this show wasn't about your family. It was about you and what you have going on. And I know when it comes to that kind of stuff, siblings kind of necessarily want to find their own path. Sometimes they go to find their own path and it might merge with, other siblings. But pretty much, for the most part, siblings want to create their own path. And so I like the fact that you did that because it was a path that you chose based on your life and not what was popular and what was in and what was accessible to you. You took a path to where you had to work for what you have. You had to get certified for what you have, and you really, truly believe in it. But give us who your family is.
So I'm most well known for being Coco Austin's sister. And if it's not Coco Austin's sister, it's Ice-T's sister-in-law. So people don't know my name. They'll see me. And I was on my sister and Ice's reality show called Ice Loves Coco. So people would recognize me on there and they'd be like, hey, Coco sister. Like,
don't even know her first name. Her first name is Coco sister.
That's
Coco
exactly
sister
right.
Austin.
Hey, Coco sister. I actually gave birth to my youngest son on their reality show. So people remember me being pregnant, and every time they see me, they're like, wow, you've lost so much weight. And I'm like, I was pregnant. Like, you don't, like, that was, I've
don't
been
keep it.
I've been pretty much the same weight my entire life, except for when I'm pregnant. You get a little weight, but because that was on a show, that's how they see me. They're like, oh, you lost so much weight. And I'm like, nope, I've been this weight since I gave birth.
Yeah, it's funny, seeing from the outside, because we look at characters that we watch on TV and we really think that like that's them. That's them in real life. And sometimes as a fan or a listener or viewer, we need to learn how to separate real life from TV show life.
Right.
And so has that been something that, like, it seems like you've been able to have that divide between you and your sister. Like, I'm doing my thing, she's doing her thing. But have you guys ever merged your lives into what you're doing? Like, is she a part? Does she do yoga? Does Ice-T do yoga?
Everybody in my life has to do yoga. I force them all to. It's not even an option. My sister and I, the thing is, we're very close. We're like yin yang. Like when we were growing up,
Who's the oldest?
She's a year older than me.
Oh, okay.
So we'd always, people will call us like they'd say my sister's the devil on the shoulder and I'm the angel, because she was always talking us into getting into trouble. And I was like, no, I can't do that. So
those are the ones you got to watch out for.
So we were very close. And even though we have very, very different thought processes, we respect each other. So I'm the first one she'll come to when she has a question about, anything kid related, because I've had 4 of them. So, Chanel gets something stuck in her nose. She's calling me up. What do I do? And I'm like, blow in her mouth. It'll shoot out your nose. I've had 4 kids. Like, I know that trick. So it's, we have this mutual respect for each other that even though we might not always agree with each other, we love and respect each other's opinion. And I think that's so important in life, because we're not always going to agree with each other. No. We're always going to have disagreements. No. But can you respect my viewpoint or where I'm coming from?
Well, and that goes back to what we're saying is, like, when you understand people and you understand where they came from and how they got to this appointed place in time, and you see the maturation of where they came from and where they're at now, it's evident, like, they know how to do something right. And you're raised, like you said, you raised 4 kids. You've been able to be certified in buku different, forms of art. I don't know how you would call it, but certifications are tough. Like, I just, most people would be satisfied with just being a yoga instructor. Right, she's like, she does it all. And so, yeah, that's really cool. That, she probably looks at you and your career and what you're doing as the expert in that. And then,
Oh, anytime I have any designer questions or what I should wear with this, or, she's the first person I call. She's the model. If I'm like, hey, I don't even know how to pose with this. How do we do? Oh, just stick your hip out. She is like, there's no better model expert than my sister. She's got it all down pat.
You guys have been out here for a while. Who came out here? Who came out
in
here
Arizona?
First? Uh-huh.
Well, she lives in New York with her husband. Uh-huh. But the reason that I'm out here, funny story, 23 years ago, my sister moved out here and said, I love Arizona, I'll never leave. And because her and I are so close, I followed her out here. And my mother followed her out here. Or soon after, my mother couldn't be away from us, so she came out here. And then my father and stepmom and brothers and aunts and uncles and cousins, their families, all have moved out from California. We were all out here for a year together. It was great. And then my sister up and left to New York. I'm like, hey, what happened to I love Arizona, I'll never leave? And she's like, well, I love New York. You should come out here. I'm like, not falling for that again.
No.
Whenever I tell this story, she's like, but Kristy, it's been 22 years now. And I'm like, still not falling for it.
No, because there's a lot of people out here that, because when they're out in public, they're so approachable and they're so kind-hearted. Like, I've never had anybody say, when I've heard people encounter Coco and Iced Tea, people have never had anything bad to say about them. They're really down to earth. So, that's plausible. And for them, and the stage that they're at in their lives and who they are.
Yeah, they're awesome. I don't think I've ever seen them turn down a picture from any fan that's approached them. I'm pretty.
Coco has a lot of fans.
Yes, we get stopped everywhere.
Floyd was like, yeah.
Grocery store, it doesn't matter where we go. That's why she's like, I gotta put makeup on. I'm like, we are just running around the corner of the grocery store. She's like, there'll be someone. Sure enough, we'll go to the store. She'll get stopped like 5 times, ops. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, you got to be ready for them camera ops. I try to get more women to be conscious when you leave the house. You don't know. You may run into Mr. Right, and now you done created a wrong situation.
Then you appreciate me without makeup on. That's all I gotta say.
Well, that's different without makeup. Without makeup is understandable. Like, but we would throw on like a bag on our head and wraps and all this different stuff.
With the barrettes.
Yeah, like come on now. Like, yeah, most men love the all natural. We do. We love all natural. But not the moo-moos and not the bags and the come on now. Like,
yoga pants are all right though.
But you know what's so funny? And I'm because I know we're about to close off. So you said something about yoga pants, and it's so funny because when you see the stages that yoga pants has gone through, yoga pants has always been worn. Women have always worn yoga pants, but it used to be yoga pants with the big shirt that came to the mid quads, and you wasn't seeing. I mean. No. Yoga pants back then was like wearing underwear. Like, right. You could see the from the above the knees down. But now y'all doing this thing where you're tucking it in your bra back here so you can see your mid back along with the butt. I just bought what I've been told.
What do you mean, like this?
It's
like,
what I
like that?
Yeah.
Cute booty. There's an advertisement right there.
What she said. But yeah. I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, yoga pants. Yeah, the yoga pants have come a long way. So yeah, I am a yoga pants wearer under my shorts. You would never catch me out in yoga pants alone. But yes, Kristy, it has been a pleasure to have you on the show.
Yes.
We
Can
would
I do
love to
can I
have
do
you
something
back.
just a little
Of
fun?
course,
A little
of
fun.
course.
We're talking about frequencies, so do something a little fun. I brought my little practitioner Tibetan bowl here. See this? Now I just want you to experience something and tell me what you feel. So I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to focus on your heart center.
My who?
Your heart center. See.
Okay.
All right, open your eyes. Tell me how you feel.
I feel really relaxed. There was like a calming that came over me.
Frequencies.
Huh.
Namaste, Satnam. Thank you for having me on.
Yes. I feel really relaxed. I want to get on this table and go to sleep. But it's been a pleasure. We definitely would love to have you back on. We definitely want you here when Larbell is here because he needs all of the healing that he can get. And I want to hear you guys both talk.
Calling you out.
Introduce your titles because he has a million titles that he introduced. He ain't got certified in his titles though.
Right.
So, but every time he comes in, the Doctor of Death, Mr. Hide your wife, Mr. Undercover Lover, Mr. So yeah,
sounds like I missed out.
yes,
like
you
I missed
did.
out not
Yeah, you
having him
did.
here.
Oh, he at home kicking himself right now. Or when you see this, he gonna be kicking himself. Yeah, he missed out today. But it has been a pleasure. We appreciate all you guys tuning in. Find Kristy. Where can they find you?
I am Kristy Austin on Instagram or Twitter or what's the new one that they have? I'm even on there. I am Kristy Austin. No, the new one, the X.
Oh, what is it? I forgot what it is.
I forget what it's called. The new one that Elon Musk just created. Is it?
Yeah, something
Anyway,
else for us to look into.
I know. I even had to go on there because it's the newest thing. So,
Okay. Well, what about so if they find you on those platforms, that can let them know where they can go to your class if they're interested in.
Yes.
Classes?
So right now, I don't teach at the studio anymore. A couple of the studios that I worked at closed down over COVID. I also come from the corporate world, so work at Boeing, general management, and yoga's very needed in the corporate world, which is my other book.
Okay.
But I've decided that now I'm going to focus on events, retreats, and like workshops, traveling, doing that kind of stuff. So if you follow me on social media, you'll see where my next event and
follow her. You can see this interview and all the other interviews on our Shoes Off Talk podcast on YouTube. We will be we'll be adding new platforms here in the near future. We do have the Thursday show, which this is it, that we're super proud of. We're going to be adding another show. Also, Floyd, tell them about your show.
Yes. My show.
He's so proud of himself.
No, this show that I created, what it's called Higher Praise, hip hop music, regular music as well. What it is, it's like I'm just gonna play some music, talk a little bit, but more so, I don't like a lot of talking when I hear music, because they have all this dialogue going on. I want to hear some music. So basically, it's going to be a lot of different type of music, which is hip hop, and then like I say, it's going to be Wednesdays at 5. And I had just created another day, which is Thursdays, but it's called Throwback Thursday.
See, I didn't even know that.
Oh yeah. So basically, I'm gonna start hitting up the old school stuff, you know. But everything, like I say, is man, I am so excited about it. It's like wow, you know. But yeah, y'all make sure y'all tune in. It's on T-Flight Radio.
There we go. You know, he may mention this is T-Flight Studios. We not only do podcasts, but if you want to take pictures, we have the whole forum that we have access to, and restaurant. There's 2 bars. So come up and hang out with us and see what we got going on. Once again, I appreciate everybody tuning in today. We will see you guys on Saturday at 5 o'clock for our next show. It's been a pleasure to have Miss Kristy Austin in the
Thank
building.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me. It was so special being here with you two. Thank you. Satnam Namaste. I do.
All right, you guys, signing off. Love, peace, and soul.